classes for Directions Yoga Studio. Please make yourself comfortable. We start our yoga practice in a comfortable posture. You can start sitting if you prefer, or lying down on your back body. If you lie down on the back body, make sure you're comfortable. Perhaps bring a blanket or fold a blanket or pillow under the back of your head, and feel your inhalation breath and exhalation breath. And before we start, as you're either sitting or resting back, I'm going to read a little bit from Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Happiness. So Thich Nhat Hanh is a Zen Buddhist master, and he has written a series of books and offers retreats and many teachings. This is called conscious breathing. In our daily life, we breathe, but we forget that we are breathing. The foundation of all mindfulness practice is to bring our attention to our in-breath and our out-breath. This is called mindfulness of breathing, or conscious breathing. It is very simple, but the effect can be very great. In our daily life, although our body is in one place, our mind is often in another. Paying attention to our in-breath and out-breath brings our mind back to our body, and suddenly we are there, fully present in the here and the now. Conscious breathing is like drinking a glass of cool water. As we breathe in, we really feel the air filling our lungs. We do not need to control our breath. We feel the breath as it actually is. It may be long or short, deep or shallow. In the light of our awareness, it will normally become slower and deeper. Conscious breathing is the key to uniting body and mind and bringing the energy of mindfulness into each moment of our life. Regardless of our internal weather, our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions, our breathing is always with us like a faithful friend. Whenever we feel carried away, sunk in a deep emotion, or caught in thoughts about the past or the future, we can return to our breath and our breathing to collect and anchor our mind. While you breathe in and out, feel the flow of air coming in and going out of your nose. At first, your breathing may not be relaxed, but after practicing conscious breathing for a while, you will feel how light and natural, how calm and peaceful your breathing has become. Anytime you are walking, gardening, typing, or doing anything at all, you can return to this peaceful source of life, and you can say to yourself, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. After a few breaths, you may want to shorten this into in, out. If you follow your in-breath and your out-breath all the way through, your mind is no longer thinking. Now your mind has a chance to rest. In our daily life, we think too much. Giving our mind a chance to stop thinking is wonderful. We can take this mindfulness through our yoga practice, and that's what I really encourage us to do today. So start with resting back on the ground. We'll come to lying down if you're sitting to start our practice. You can lie on your back body, and if you feel your lower back is uncomfortable, you might bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. You can inhale and be aware of your inhalation breath. You can exhale and feel and be aware of your exhalation breath. Breathing in, know that you are breathing in. Breathing out, know that you are breathing out. And then we'll slowly start to move. Our practice is based on feeling the sensations of the body. As we start to move, you might let your knees drop to the right. Take a breath or two, and then take your left leg to the left. Allow your right leg to stay over. It will come to the left eventually. Feel the back of your pelvis come to the floor. and then it releases off to the floor when both legs are on the left. And then you can exhale and let your right leg go back to the right and your left leg follows. And you can go back and forth. Sometimes you might want to draw your knees to your chest and practice the same idea of twisting, allowing the legs to release one at a time as you go from side to side. Moving on an exhalation, releasing the body through the movement of breath and dropping tension. Okay? Bringing more mindfulness to the body and letting your mind rest. When your legs are on the right the next time, you can let your arms rest at the sides. Make sure you have a pillow or blanket under your head. And then you can inhale, and as you exhale, you can take your left arm up and all the way over to the right. So you're lying on your right shoulder and stretch your left arm way out past the right. And as you exhale, you can bring your left arm back. Feel your right shoulder blade come to the floor at the center of your spine, the left shoulder blade and your left arm. Keep your legs on the right, and we'll do that a few more times. Moving at your own pace, basing your movement on what you feel in your body. Let your head release into the ground. If this shoulder and arm feels like it's suspended over the floor, then get another blanket or pillow or cushion and let your arm rest. Dropping tension is really important for the body to release and for the mind. So you can go back and forth with this left arm, and when you're ready, then take both knees all the way over to the left and let your right arm drop to the ground. Again, if it's suspended up in the air, then either drop it to the ground, and if that's not easy to do for you, support it with a cushion or a folded blanket. And then we'll inhale deeply and exhale and take the right arm up to the ceiling and over to the left and stretch it out past the left arm. On an exhalation, you can bring the arm back and over to the right. And you can go back and forth here at your own pace. Inhaling deeply and exhaling and just moving. Feeling the shoulder come to the floor as your arm goes back, then the center of the back, and then the other shoulder, and then the upper arm and the lower arm. Right? And when the body is released, it's very fluid. This has nothing to do with flexibility. This has to do with dropping tension and releasing muscles and connective tissue. You can try it on the first side again. Repetition is so important. It is how the body and mind integrate, feel the support of the ground, deepen the sense of release and releasing tension. Tension in the body and tension in the mind are the same thing. In our yoga practice, we recognize that mind and body are already one. If the mind is tense and stressed, the body will also be, and vice versa. So in our practice, we work with releasing the body in order to release the mind, and releasing and focusing the mind in order to release the body. It's the same thing. Okay, try a couple more movements of the arm, changing sides at your own pace. When you're doing that, you're already listening to the body. When you're already moving at your own pace in this practice, you're listening to your body, taking your time. And being able to listen to our body is the real beginning of mindfulness. When we come back to the sensations of the body and we move at our own pace, we are already listening to the body. Sometimes people think that yoga and meditation is not for the average person, that you have to have a special body or a special place to practice yoga. Yoga is for everyone. We're going to come back to the center now and bring the feet to the floor, and you can take your right knee to your chest and circle your right knee. Move your knee in circles. And then let's bring the foot to the floor, and then we'll draw the left knee to the chest, and we'll circle the left knee and feel the back of the hip. And then bring your foot back. And we'll draw the right knee again to the chest, leave your left foot on the floor, and then we're going to stretch the right leg up. And if you can, you hold your right foot with your hand. That might not be possible. I think I forgot to bring my yoga belt, and go and get a yoga belt now. And if you don't have a yoga belt, that's perfectly fine. You can use a sock, a bathrobe tie, an old necktie. So you can draw our karate belt. I think these are karate belts. So draw the right knee to the chest, take your belt on your right foot, exhale and lengthen into the right leg. You can bend the knee as you inhale and stretch the leg as you exhale. It's very challenging to stretch the leg in this posture for a lot of people, so just do what you can. Then if you're okay with your lower back, stretch your left leg out. If that's not good for your lower back, keep your left foot on the floor. See what your lower back says. Then you can take your right leg out to the right. Take a couple of breaths, lengthen the leg to the right. As you exhale, you can bring your right leg back, hold your belt with your left hand, drop your right arm onto the floor, and take your right leg across the front of the body over to the left. Breathe and let the body stretch. There's a twist to the spine here as well that can be released. And a lot of people will feel these stretches can be very strong, so they require repetition. Take the leg to the right, inhale deeply and exhale. So now move at your own pace through those three positions, to the center, to the right, and across the front of the body to the left. You can roll onto your outer left hip and let your right shoulder and arm sink back to the ground. Take your time. And again, if you're going at your own pace here, you're already moving according to the sensations of your own body. You're already practicing mindfulness. You're already listening. Come back to the center when you're ready. We'll take the belt off. Before you go and put the belt on your left foot, lie on the floor and feel your right leg and your left leg. See if the right leg feels different from the left. It might feel the same. It might feel longer. The back of the right hip might feel longer. It might feel more in contact with the ground. And it might be easier to feel. Draw the left knee to the chest. You can bring your right foot to the floor, circle the hip a bit, and then take your belt on your left foot and stretch into your left leg. Inhale deeply, exhale. You can bend your left knee on your inhalation, stretch your leg on your exhalation. Inhale and soften, and exhale and lengthen. If your lower back is okay, you can stretch out through your right leg. You can take your left leg over to the left. Exhale when you're ready, come back and over to the right. You can hold your belt with your right hand. These are strong stretches. They take us into a different range of movement than we're used to doing day to day. You might feel this in your hip and your outer left leg. Back to the center, take your time, and over to the left. And then just go back and forth at your own pace. If there's a stretch that your body seems to really enjoy and you need to stay there a little bit longer and feel the leg releasing, then stay in that posture longer. Never feel that you have to keep up with what I'm doing in this class on video or what somebody else might do. And this is really about your own time. And if we don't take time to ourselves in yoga practice and meditation practice, then when do we take that time? It's going back and forth. And finally, when you're ready to release from these leg stretches, you come back to the center with the left leg, take the belt off, bring the left leg to the floor, and then feel the body on the ground. And see if you can feel your legs as they are here on the floor. Then we're going to bend the knees and bring the feet to the floor, and we're going to come into bridge pose. And I'll turn sideways, you stay on your mat where you are, but I'll turn just to show you. Feet are hip width apart. Inhale and exhale, and feel the breath in the belly and the pelvis. The thing about the movement of breath in this practice is that when we're resting on the ground, releasing tension, the breath moves the body. So as we inhale and exhale, it moves the pelvis in and out of a pelvic swing on its own. On the next exhalation, you can drop down into the feet and let the pelvis, the lower back, middle back come up. Your arms can be at your sides. They can be overhead, which is one of my favorite positions because I find that helpful on my shoulders. Listening to your body, decide what the best arm position is for your body. Coming up and down a few times here, inhaling as you drop, as you rest down, Exhale as you come up, my mistake. Exhale as you come up. Inhale and exhale as you come down. And then you can draw your knees back to your chest, circle them a bit. We'll try a hip stretch. We can bend, with the feet on the floor. You can cross the right thigh over the left and start to drop your knees from side to side. Some people might find this to be a strong stretch on the back of the sacrum, the center of the pelvis. Just go at your own pace and only go as far as feels comfortable for you. Exhaling as you drop your legs. Let the shoulders release, the spine release, the legs and pelvis release. We'll change the leg that's on top. If you want to stay longer with the first side, then do. And go here from side to side again. It takes time for the body to release. And breath for the body to release. Coming back to the center, we'll bring the feet back to the floor. Breathe into the pelvis, deeply inhale and let the belly come forward. Exhale, let the belly go back. Press into the feet and let the pelvis, lower back, middle back come up into bridge pose. You can inhale and exhale and come down. And then we're going to turn to the side. Releasing to the side, then we come up into cat pose. For cat pose, your hands can be under your shoulders. If that's uncomfortable for your arms or your wrists, you can bring them forward, turn them out a bit. And if that's still uncomfortable, you can fold the mat and have your wrists supported by the fold of your mat. If your knees are not comfortable, you might bring a folded blanket under your knees for cat pose. And then you can exhale and round the spine up, stretch into the back, down through the arms, and inhale and release down, and exhale and round the spine up, and dip down as you inhale, and move at your own pace. And then we can walk the hands over to the right, sit the hips back and stretch through the left arm and the left side ribs, releasing into the hands. Round the spine up as you exhale and dip down. As your body releases, you might be able to deepen the posture, but that's not necessary. Be mindful of your knees here as you bend them, and then back to the center and take your hands over to the left. Inhale and exhale and come back. Taking the hips back towards the heels, stretch through the right side ribs, the right shoulder, arm and hands. Round the back up and dip down. You might be able to take your hands further, but it doesn't It's not required at all. And when you're ready, we'll come back to the center and bring the hands about shoulder width apart. Or if your shoulders are tight, we'll take the toes under and stretch back for downward facing dog pose. You can bend the right knee and let the left leg stretch. And then bend the left knee and let the right one stretch. Let both stretch. If you need to come down, we'll come down. And we can take the knees apart, feet towards each other, and drop back and let the head release. The head doesn't release to the floor, support it. Your knees are very tight. Your hips can be up. But allow the front of the body to release. A sense of breath coming into the pelvis, into the lower back, and letting the shoulders drop. And we're going to come up again. We're going to come back to downward facing dog pose. Stretch the legs. And we're going to try taking one leg up and back. So you might walk your right foot towards the center of the mat a little bit more. And if possible, take your left leg up. And on an exhalation, release it back. If that's too much, then just go back to alternating the knees. Bend the right knee and stretch the left leg. Bend the left knee and stretch the right one. If you can, you stand on the left foot and exhale and lengthen back to your right leg. And then bring your right foot down and either alternate the knees again or take the left leg up and stretch it back. Stay with what feels right for your body. And you can try the first side again. And then bring both feet to the floor and take your knees back to the floor and come back into child's pose. Child's pose has to be comfortable for you. It might be knees apart child's pose with your head supported with your arms. If you can, you bring your knees together, head dropping. If possible, you bring your arms back. Some people find that uncomfortable on their neck and they need one arm forward or both arms forward. The purpose here is to find what posture helps you feel the most released and in connection with your breath. So coming up from child's pose, we're going to come into lunge pose again. We did this in the last video class. So you can bring your right foot forward, either the way I did, of stepping it through. If that's not possible, walk your hands over to the left and then take your foot forward. And then see about coming up. Your arms can come up, out to your sides, or you can rest. Lunge pose is a challenging posture because it stretches the front of the thigh and the quad muscles. Inhale deeply and exhale. These muscles get tight when we walk great distances, or we're runners, or we sit at a desk, or drive a car a lot. Lots of things contribute to tension in the hip flexor muscles. Deep inhale and exhale. We'll bring the hands down, take the right foot back. Make the hands over to the right if you need to, and swing your left foot forward. You need to keep your hands on the ground, then do, or you can see about bringing your arms up onto your left leg, and then maybe bring the arms all the way up or out to the sides, and take a few deep breaths, allowing the right hip to release. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. And then we'll bring the hands down again and step the left foot back. So we'll try the right leg again. Maybe try cat pose before. Actually, let's try cat pose before we do another round of lunge. Inhale deeply and exhale. Round the spine up, the head drop. Then we'll take the right foot forward. Left knee on the floor again, and see about coming up in lunge pose. Inhaling and exhaling. You can bring your left hand to the ground and try a variation of lunge pose, which is a twist. Twisting towards the right leg. The right arm can come to the back of your hip as you rotate If you want a more challenging posture, you might be able to bring your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. This can be very strong, depends on your body. You might need to have your left hand on the inside. And we're coming down. We can try reverse lunge, which we didn't do the last time. So you can drop your head. You see about starting to straighten your right leg. It might not completely straighten. You might come up onto your fingertips. Down. Take the right leg back. We'll bring the left foot forward. Deeply inhale and exhale and let the right hip stretch. When you're ready, you can see about coming up into upright lunge. Your arms can be on your leg, out to the sides, or up in the air. Make sure your lower back feels secure. For people with tight shoulders, sometimes bringing their arms up is uncomfortable for the lower back. So stay with that. And then take the right hand to the floor and see about turning to the left. If that's okay, you might bring your right elbow on the outside of your left knee and turn. Take a few breaths. The left hand can just be on your left leg or behind you. And then bring yourself back down. And reverse lunge here. You can see about starting to straighten your left leg. It might not completely straighten. Let your head drop, release your neck. And then coming forward, and then we'll take the left foot back. Okay? Inhale deeply, exhale, we'll come back to downward facing dog pose and stretch back. As you inhale deeply, exhale, let your pelvis release, your legs lengthen. And then we'll come down into child's pose. This time in child's pose, we'll keep the arms forward to stretch the shoulders and to prepare for cobra. So for cobra, we're going to inhale and exhale and round the back up and come into the cobra posture, leading with the pelvis coming down and the spine releasing into cobra. If that feels uncomfortable for your back, go back to child's pose, round up again, drop the head, and only come part way forward. You don't have to come all the way forward in cobra pose. Again, we're working with the body as it is, not trying to accomplish a posture that someone else might do. And then another back bend for the upper back and shoulders is little dog. So for little dog, we bring the elbows and forearms to the floor, sort of out in front a bit. And then hips are up, and your elbows are very close to your head. They're not wide apart, they're really close to your head. And then you drop your chest towards the floor. People often feel a big stretch to the shoulders and the upper back, so make sure it's still okay. Inhaling deeply and exhaling here into the shoulders and the upper back. And then we're going to come up, walk the knees forward a bit, hands back. We're going to try B-E-A-D or Malasana in Sanskrit, squatting posture. So if you're in cat pose, you walk your hands back towards your knees, turn your toes under, and then see about just moving back towards this squatting posture. If that's not comfortable for your knees, keep them on the floor then, and then dropping your head. Sort of in the same posture, but without the weight of the body on the pelvis. If you can, you come into squatting posture and let your head drop, your neck release, to release the lower back. And then we're slowly going to come up into standing forward bend. And if your lower back is sensitive, you can pop your elbows up onto your knees and let your head drop forward. If that's okay, you can see about stretching your legs, dropping forward. You can hold your elbows from and then hang forward. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, roll up to standing, all the way up, and lengthen up and back. And then release your arms at your sides, feel your breath, feel your legs, feel the feet on the ground. Bring your attention into your feet. We're going to try some of the standing postures now. So we're going to stand at the back of the mat. Feel the right leg and the left leg, the right foot and the left foot. I'm going to step the right foot forward like you're going for a quick walk. And we're going to watch what we do with the left leg. Don't turn the left foot out because that can hurt the sacroiliac joint in the back of the pelvis. So we're going to take the right foot forward, a comfortable walking pace, like a brisk walking pace. And then bend the right knee and feel that the weight of the body is supported by the legs so that the spine and the upper body can be relaxed. Your arms can be at your sides, out to the side, or up. If up means your lower back and neck are constrained or restricted, then bring them down. Okay? As you inhale and exhale, let the legs be strong and releasing, supporting you into the ground so your spine can be light and move up. Inhale deeply and exhale, step back. Feel the right leg and the left leg before you do the other side. Be mindful of how the body feels and how the stretch has affected the left leg and the right leg. What do you feel? Then take a step forward with the left foot. Again, watch the angle of the right foot. Do not turn the right foot out. Keep the right foot fairly forward. Bend the left knee. The arms can be at your sides, shoulder height or up. Inhale deeply and exhale. Let the legs be strong so the spine can be light and the body feels supported by the ground. Okay, inhale deeply and exhale. Release the arms. Stretch yourself back. Feel the right side and the left side of the body. The right foot and the left foot. So we're going to add a couple of postures to this. We'll take the right foot forward again for warrior one. Bend the right knee. Remember, repetition is really important. It allows the body to release, to integrate the arms wherever they're comfortable for you. And then we're going to come into warrior two. So we're going to take the right arm forward, the left arm back. But make sure your right knee doesn't go in. Keep it going out to the small toe side of the foot. That's to protect your knee. Inhale, and as you exhale, side lunge pose, upright side lunge. You can bring your right arm to your right thigh or your hand and take your left arm over to the room. And as you exhale, you can release down through the left leg and out through the left arm. And then come back to warrior two posture. Slowly come back to warrior one. And then step back into mountain pose and feel your right leg and your left leg so that you can be really rooted into the ground. Remember what I said, this is a practice about trust. We trust the earth and we trust gravity to support us. So when we release tension from the body, we can really feel that connection to the ground more. And then we're going to take the left foot forward. Okay, try not to turn your right foot out that much. Bend the left knee. Exhale, the arms can come out to the sides or up. Drop down through both legs so that the spine is light. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, bring the left arm forward, the right arm back for warrior two. Make sure your left knee doesn't go in, it has to still go out slightly. Balance yourself between both legs and both arms. And then we take the left arm to the left thigh and the right arm overhead. As you inhale deeply, exhale, release down through the right foot and out through the right arm. And then back to warrior two. Inhale, exhale, back to warrior one. And then step back into mountain pose. And feel the sides of the body, the support of the ground under the feet. So let's try that one more time to each side. The right foot forward for warrior one posture. Breathe in the posture, feel the support of the ground, the lightness of the spine and shoulders. Warrior two, let the right knee go out slightly, don't let it fall in, keep it aligned. Shoulders are light. Side lunge posture. Take the right arm to the right thigh, and as you exhale, feel that you can release down through the left leg and out through the left arm. And then back to warrior two. and back to warrior one, and then step back into mountain pose. Feel your right leg and your left leg, and then the left side. We'll take the left foot forward for warrior one posture, arms where they're most comfortable for you. Inhaling deeply and exhale, drop the weight of the body into the ground through the feet so the spine can be light. And then warrior two, take the left knee over, just keep it aligned, don't let it fall into the middle. And then the left arm comes down, the right arm can come over, soften your neck. Inhale as you exhale, down through the right leg, out through the right arm. And then back to warrior two, and back to warrior one, and then step back into mountain pose. Excellent. Feel the body, support of the legs, the spine and nervous system can be light, shoulders can be relaxed. And then bend the knees. We're going to roll down to standing forward bend again, and let your head drop, release your neck. And then we're going to come down to sitting, so you can get a blanket or a pillow, and come into sitting posture. And we're going to try a twist here. So we're going to take both legs out in front. And then we're going to take the right foot and bring the right foot to the floor on the inside of the left leg. And we're going to turn to the right. So your right arm comes back, your left arm can come onto your left knee. And then as you inhale, release. The twist, as you exhale, deepen. Inhaling, coming out a little bit, and exhale, deepen in. And then releasing out, and we'll try the second side, bend the left knee. You can have the right arm on the left knee, your left hand behind you. As you inhale, you release out of the twist, exhale and deepen. Inhaling out, exhale and deepen. It doesn't matter how far forward we go in these postures, what's important is the movement. I find coming in and out of the postures as important as being in them. All of that is part of the practice. The movement of releasing into the postures and being in the postures are all equally important. So we'll see about a sitting forward bend posture. You can bend your knees and drop forward over your thighs and let your head release. So feel the movement of breath here, inhaling and exhaling. You may notice the body lifts on the inhalation and drops on the exhalation. And if that's okay, you can stretch your legs out and then see about dropping forward. And again, it doesn't matter how far forward you come. What's important is feeling breath movement in your body. So try that a little longer, dropping forward. Your arms can be relaxed, your shoulders can be released. And then we'll come up again. And then we're going to end the class with a relaxed posture. And this one you can take your legs up the wall. So usually you have to sit sideways to get close enough to the wall and have your pillow handy. And then you bring your hip up the wall slightly, close to the wall as you can, and take your legs up. You can rest here if this is enough. If this is fine, you can stay here. You can also see about having your pillow handy, bend your knees, bring your feet up, bring your hips up, and then bring the pillow under your hips, and then stretch your legs up again. So this is a slightly different restorative posture. And then feel as you inhale and exhale, breathe into your belly, into your ribs, into your chest. You can be, as I said, you can stay on the ground, or you can have the pillow. See what works for your body and stay there for a few moments. And I'll come back to the reading I did by Thich Nhat Hanh. It's so important to remind ourselves of these practices and the importance of paying attention to the breath and developing mindfulness. And really feeling that we can be mindful of the breath and body, and that's a guide. That's a guide, and we don't need anything special to do that. We can just be in our ordinary everyday life. So Thich Nhat Hanh writes in his book Happiness, this is what I read at the beginning about conscious breathing. In our daily life we breathe, but we forget that we are breathing. The foundation of all mindfulness practice is to bring our attention to our in-breath and out-breath. This is called mindfulness of breathing, or conscious breathing. It is very simple, but the effect can be very great. In our daily life, although our body is in one place, our mind is often in another. Paying attention to our in-breath and our out-breath brings our mind back to our body, and suddenly we are there, fully present in the here and the now. Conscious breathing is like drinking a glass of cool water. As we breathe in, we feel the air filling our lungs. We do not need to control our breath. We feel the breath as it actually is. It may be long or short, deep or shallow. In the light of our awareness, it will naturally become slower and deeper. Conscious breathing is the key to uniting body and mind and bringing the energy of mindfulness into each moment of our life. Regardless of our internal weather, our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions, our breathing is always there with us, like a faithful friend. Whenever we feel carried away, sunk in a deep emotion, or caught in thoughts about the past or the future, we can return to our breathing to collect and anchor our mind. While you breathe in and out, feel the flow of air coming in and going out of your nose. At first, your breathing may not be relaxed. But after practicing conscious breathing for a while, you will feel how light and natural, how calm and peaceful your breathing has become. Anytime you are walking, gardening, typing, or doing anything at all, you can return to this practice and this peaceful source of life. You can say to yourself, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. After a few breaths, you may want to shorten this, in and out. You follow your in-breath and your out-breath all the way through. Your mind is no longer thinking. Now your mind has a chance to rest. In our daily life, we think too much. Giving our mind a chance to stop thinking is wonderful. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in, is not a thought. It is a simple awareness that something is happening, that you are breathing in and out. When you breathe in and bring your attention to your in-breath, you bring your mind back to a reunion with your body. Just one in-breath can help the mind come back to the body. When the body and mind come together, you can truly be in the present moment. So thank you, and namaste.